Hi everyone. So in this episode of Not So Mainstream, I have with me Ashish here, who is a digital creator on Instagram and on YouTube, on social media, different platforms, and who is also a marketing specialist. And we will go into more details of what he does. So let's talk with you, Ashish. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Zoa. Thank you so much for having me on your beautiful show. I'm lucky to be a part of it because not everybody will get that option. So
That's
thank you.
true. Thank you for saying that. And so, to start with, just give us a brief introduction of what you do and how you get into this.
So to start off my journey, I always had that passion of creating video based content. Nobody knows it, but I'll reveal it on your page that I had one more page which was a meme page. I used to create content and like funny videos, and I used to remix with people and make content which was technically not for everybody. And then eventually, obviously did not had any success on things, but at that I figured out that it's more of what I want to do. I like being on camera. That's when I started my journey. I came to Canada and went into video based format with no vision, no hopes, no expectations. I just started posting my things. I did not look at likes, I did not look at followers. Obviously when you post you see who's viewing it, but and then eventually it progressed to something bigger. I started getting brand deals, I started getting that community questions. This journey overall changed me as a person as well, of what my purpose is. And then eventually now I've been creating video based content and life is good.
That's great. And I would like to see like if that page is still up.
It is.
Oh, okay. So I would like to. We'll talk about that later. All
Sure.
right. So you said that you arrived in Canada as a student, right? And the way I've been following your work, it's so much about like your struggle, like what you have seen, how you have come out even stronger at the other side of like your struggles and challenges that you face as a student. But more so, it's also about creating your own personal brand or voice. So I want to know what was your first impression and experience when you just arrived, and what was your experience or thoughts about being a student in Canada after a few months of your arrival?
In terms of when I came here as an international student, I had zero hopes. I did not have any friends. Obviously, you know people from your batch and your class, but you have those real friends back in your home country. I did not had that option. Luckily, I had met one guy from my city only back in India. When I came here, experience he helped me a lot in things. But my experience was that I was nobody.
Yeah.
uh, every international student when they come to a new country, not even Canada, they are nobody. The reason they went, like took that action, was to become something, become that someone. So when you come here, essentially there is no identity here. Now it's up to you what you want to build out of it. So technically you are starting your life from scratch, and then you have that option to impact on someone's life or even your life as well. Or you can just do a mainstream situation which everybody does, is come here, work, uh, complete their courses, no social life. That's how Canada is, to be honest with you guys. If you're listening to this, reality is that it's very hard to make friends, it's very hard to socialize. You will see people partying, but that's not the truth. So that was my journey. I was very depressed because I did not had like job and anything. I was burning my cash flow, which eventually students come here and they do that. And rents were expensive. That like it hits a hole in your pocket. But I thought that I am free. I don't have anything to do, man, apart from my assignments. So why not start something of my own? And actually nobody knows it, but this was one of a project in my class.
Oh, nice.
So I was lazy. I can be honest about it. I was very lazy. I knew how to do something. I knew how to start a page. I was following people who were already doing things like this, but I was too lazy. And that procrastination hit me crazy, because when you come to Canada, 1,000 thoughts are there in your head. Your first job, your part-time job, your rent, your how will you blend in the culture. So many things are there. But eventually then this college project came in, where you have to post, because my course was marketing. So you have to post on social media 15 posts. and consecutively you have to see what kind of audience is reacting, because you have to start from 0 followers, right? So I asked my professor, technically this was not, I cannot do that what I did with my page. It was related to a company. You can start a company based page.
Right.
So I personally approached the professor and I told him that I always wanted to do this. This is also a brand. This is also something I want to do. And he's like, go for it. This is also a company for you. So build this. Let's see if you can do it. And I started posting. I got like, in few of my reels already, I got like thousands of views, 0 followers. And then I told professor, he's like, you are on the correct path. So keep doing it. Don't stop, even if this project is over. But eventually my reels started to pop up on other people's feed, and they started connecting with me. And you know what? I am my own advocate. I self-advocate myself. I self-promote myself. Every student who used to come to Best Buy, if they know me well and good, if they don't, I would make sure that they know me. That's how I used to be. I used to promote myself. Hey, I make content related to this. I would appreciate if you can have a look. If you like it, do follow it. I have a scanner with me. If someone scans, that could show up to landfill my page. And that, though nobody knows that stuff, everybody thinks that it's just one night game,
Yeah.
But the hard work when you put forward, when you are trying to build a personal brand, it takes a lot of effort. So you have to make sure your vision, your mission, and your values are clear when you're doing something.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything just because you want to do something.
True.
Your
And people
core,
don't see
yeah,
that behind the scenes, like
nobody knows.
like and at some time, like they don't even appreciate it. Like they're just okay. Someone is putting up like videos and content.
Yeah,
It's just something they're doing for fun. Like that's something that I have come across a lot of the times, which makes me a bit sad and angry at times. Like there goes a
just
lot.
don't do it. Yeah. Just don't judge based on what's happening. There's a lot of things going on in the back end. But what actually boosted my page and boosted my, I would say, word of mouth is also very strong in Canada, especially in students. And eventually that grew my personal brand even more, my humbleness, my vision of helping students, of just had that character in me to make sure that I'm helping someone. That boosted my word of mouth and my personal brand. Now if I live in Kitchener-Waterloo region, whenever I go somewhere any day, out of 10, 6 or 7 times people still recognize me. Like, I know you make videos, I know, because it's a small city, and you get that vibe. It's so good. It's the best feeling. So I'm not even getting when people recognize you from social media. Can you beat that? Social media was a taboo back in our country. You're constantly on your phone. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Did you ever thought that it can be a business? Did you ever thought it can be you can land jobs with that? We'll talk about it later in our upcoming interview. It's such an amazing journey for me, especially like I was like, damn, so many things can happen if you are your own brand.
Use it like strategically. You mentioned like
I did.
so like you have to have like that kind of like research and strategy going
Yeah.
on. Another thing that I really like about what you said is to create your identity. I also know that you were working before coming here to Canada, and leaving that like whole you are already a professional life, right? Leaving that behind, starting from zero in a new country, not knowing anyone. It's like you're just being born again, right? Like you're starting
Yeah.
from zero and trying to meet people, understand the culture. Like that is again like another big shock, which is there. Like no matter how much we say that it's a like world is a global village.
I have offended a lot of people. Trust me when I tell you that. I have offended a lot of people when, to be honest with you, that was just a normal thing, when I'm saying something or I'm just the way I'm saying something. But some people don't take it in a good way. And, I realized it working for Best Buy. It's more of like hard work comes directly through belief. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in what you're doing? Do you trust yourself? If you trust yourself, if you don't trust yourself, how will you expect someone else to trust your work? So first of all, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do something. You are valuable. Gratitude needs to kick in, and then eventually you do some things and impact people.
That's true. Amazing. So let's go a little deep into personal branding. So, in my experience, when I talk with students about personal branding, there is there's a lot of like reluctance to do that. Like, personal branding is something just for professionals, for brands. Like, there's still like this understanding that, I mean, the word itself says like personal branding, like you should, go for it, but there's still reluctance. You are living proof, like, you did all of that. Even if you started it as a school project, but the steps you took and everything, just walk us through that, like, how much is important for international students specifically.
I advocate a lot when it comes to personal brand. In my own experience, now considering I have built that portfolio, working with 10, 15 brands now, like good collaborations, good UGC content. I'll tell you, it's not even about creating content now. You don't need to make video based content. You don't need to post anything on Instagram or TikTok. It can be as simple as, sharing your journey on platforms like LinkedIn. It's such a powerful platform. Just share your journey, how you have been feeling, how struggles have been. If you ran into an obstacle, how did you overcome that? That kind of content is really valuable to people, especially when they are coming to a new country and kind of following your path. Now, you don't have to be on camera to make a personal brand of yourself. I know people right now. I have been following on LinkedIn and in fact on other platforms as well, who have never made video based content, but I absolutely love how they portray their things. Just on 3-4 paragraphs, they can tell, this is their journey on, and they can convey a message. Now, why personal branding is important, if we talk about it and how you can actually do it, is that personal branding helps you in many ways. Number one would be that you can promote yourself, then you can promote anything. If you can pitch yourself to someone in a way that people are, convinced that, you are doing something, then you are already one step ahead of the game than rest of the people. And personal brand also gives you confidence. Now, when I meet people and they recognize me,
That's true, absolutely.
I won't show it on my face, but deep down, I know that I'm feeling good. So if someone is recognizing you, that gives you an extra boost of confidence, which you actually need in Canada, because you would say there is no one to back that up for you. In India or in any other country, Pakistan or like any these countries where they see people are a lot, you would go home and you will get that instant boost automatically from your family. You don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
But here in Canada, you have to be your number one supporter and your number one morale booster, I would say. So that's one of the two things which I told you for personal branding, and also it can help you land jobs. It's amazing to see my journey. What happened was, when I started this page as a college project, but it's not technically I wanted to do it, but now I'm naming it as college project. I started posting content. That semester got over. That teacher got into another class, and I got into another semester, but I still posted. Now, few of my reels it glowed like crazy, like 1 million, 500K, like so many views. And you know what I did of that? I knew that I had something in my head now. And then an opening came in my college for marketing communications assistant. Now it's a college job, on-campus job. Students back in the days, they had 20-hour limit when I was working. I think, in fact, with you as well, it was 20-hour. How much can you earn in a 20-hour? Even if you have good, like more than minimum wage, 1,200, 1,500. That's the maximum you can earn here. If you are in sales, obviously commissions are there. But other than that, do you think that's enough for survival? That's enough for your savings? No, it's not. It's just month-to-month cash flow going in. I had to make sure that I was not doing that. I like to live. I would not say, I don't know, it's a good way to say it, but I don't like to live below means. That's not someone who I am. I feel good about things. Everybody say don't get attached to things. I like gadgets. Yeah. I like exploring tech. I'm that kind of person.
It's part of lifestyle, right? Like it's lifestyle. It's not spending more on anything. It's more, for yourself. Yeah,
it's more of yourself. Maybe that is boosting your creativity and you are earning more money out of it. You cannot sacrifice your own things, which makes you happy, and then eventually you are in a hole where you don't know what to do, right? So I love living. So first things first, when I was starting my journey here, then I created a portfolio out of it about my own page. How many reels went viral? How many people are engaging? My analytics. I checked everything. What kind of target audience I have, and I created a good one-page portfolio. And conclusion in the end that if I can promote myself, I can promote any brand.
Really cool.
Yeah, I dig deep down in on my page. I checked how many women are following me, how many men are following me, how much target audience is active, is it international? To be surprising with you, mine is a very mixed audience, not much followers, but it's a very mixed audience. So I showed everything, and then that also is kind of a report, right? You are
Yeah.
creating a report. Now, what all skills I showed, right, when creating a portfolio? I can create a report. I know what I'm doing. I know how things work, especially in the social media space. I attached it with my resume when I was applying for that job.
You're giving examples, like whatever you've written in your resume, you're
Yeah,
actually providing like
yeah,
some proof that
yeah. This is what I've done.
yeah.
I know my work. So let me do your work. Simple. Three things. So they immediately approached me. And then they invited me for an interview. And I attached my link, obviously, because there was a link. You can go on my page, check it out. My video editing skills, my copywriting skills, my trend setting skills. Like I can check what trends are going on and everything. So many things you can portray with just one page. If you are a creator, you are actually, so you know how much things we have to do. It's not just one posting situation going on,
Yeah.
right? So how can someone recognize that? Someone who is already experienced in their niche, like marketing. So the managers which interviewed me now were already aware, like, Ashish, you've been doing so good. How? You are just a student and you're doing marketing. You're doing a course. You're pursuing it right now, but you're already doing something. That's surprising. And I told them, this is what I know and I can do stuff. I have already strategies for you. Let's work on it together and create an impact. But the thing which excelled out was my personal brand, but also my competitor research. Now, I told them that, there are ways you can improve this on your page. So they're like, okay, you did your research also now? So they were very impressed. They immediately had. So, and I just got an offer letter. Pay was more than minimum wage. In fact, a lot more than minimum wage. Public colleges have a lot of funding, trust me. They have a lot of money to give out, because if they don't, government will take it back from them. So I got the job. I was making content for them. I was handling their Instagram. I was handling their social media. Now that also boosted as a portfolio for me, that I worked for a cause, right? So you see, if you connect the dots, number one would be that I started a page of myself. Then I created a personal brand of myself. Then I pitched that personal brand to a place where I want to work, and then they offered me the work, and then I created and worked for them. That also boosted as a very big portfolio as a whole. And then I pitched that to my current job right now, which I'm working. That is also a college. So I'm working for Mohawk Trios College. Mohawk is an excellent college for international students in Hamilton. Now they recently started their campus in Mississauga. So I'm working for them now. Same thing. So it's you see that it's all about step. Now your starting was personal brand.
Yeah, the foundation, the basic
foundation. Yeah. So everything is connected. Everything is connected. It took me a lot of time to eventually find the job, and it takes time. Canada is slow. HRs are slow.
Especially what we're facing right now, like after COVID, like all the recession thing and everything that's going right now. But what you did was really good, and it made you stand out, right? Because everyone else might be just applying through simple plain like application.
Nobody actually believes it, but I put my personal brand in my resume.
Exactly. So that made you stand out. Like it's important. Like you showed the importance for the personal brand. That's great. Yes. I want to go at the other side of it, which is like when you put yourself out there, it comes with certain challenges, or sometimes self-doubt, procrastination, and all those sort of things. How do you deal with that?
There's a thing called creator guilt. I feel guilty every day for not posting, for not making content. It impacts your mood. It impacts how you are doing your things every day.
Yeah.
This is the number one challenge as a creator which I am facing right now. Is that I feel guilty if I'm not doing
Right.
it. Should I feel that way? Absolutely not. I'm doing my best in the best of my abilities, but it also is in a positive way that you care about
Yeah. It's
your.
important to you.
It's important to me, which is good as well, right? So that means my core foundation, my values are still there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the challenges which I'm facing, and I'm trying to overcome it by implementing my strategies on how I can avoid it. By batching out my content, hiring a video editor now. Like I need to delegate my work so that I'm not spending more time on things where I can, be useful somewhere else. My time is really important to me right now. After especially like my graduation, I feel I don't get time.
Yeah.
Like it was hard to manage social media of my own, then come college, and then I used to work for Best Buy, and I used to do my assignments, and I never felt relaxed since I came to Canada. Like I just want to take a chill pill, like not do anything. That's also one of the best feelings for me, to be honest with you. Like lying on my bed, scrolling some Instagram reels, just listening to some good song, and watching maybe Modern
Relaxing.
Family. I love Modern Family. Just being chill. You're not worried about it. I think that plays a really important role in your mental health. But the challenges were, this is one of the biggest challenges. The second challenge would be that the research and how you can portray it in your way.
Right.
Now, I know I have like a content, like I can make 100 posts right now, but how can I give it my personal touch to it? Like people are watching me for me, not for my content. Like the way I am portraying it. I think Ishank, there is this one more creator, good friend of mine. He's doing really well when it comes to it. He posts some controversial stuff sometimes, but he has his own way of portraying things. There's so many creators. Everybody has their own way of portraying things, but information is kind of related if you try to understand. But the way they portray it, some people actually understand it in a better way. Like when people are following me, I think I would say I'm a very humorous guy in terms of the way I explain things, and I'm very, very bold about it. Like when I'm speaking something, like I make sure that I'm in charge of that. Like I'm very authoritative when I'm speaking. That's my way of showing things, backed up with facts. That's number one thing. I just don't say anything. People are very smart these days. They can literally point out at that very second. So that's one thing which I feel is the second challenge is that sometimes you can just be exhausted or burned out as well by just doing about things like making content, and there is creator guilt, but there is also creator burnout. There have been days I've felt like that. I just completely shut off myself at that point of time that you're consuming social media a lot, but it impacts your mental health in many ways. Also the people you follow, that also impacts in many ways. So these are two of the challenges. And also like I need someone to edit my video, so I'm hiring someone in video editing now. I'm already taking interviews and everything. Like I want to delegate my work now. The only way you can grow yourself is you delegate yourself to do other people to do your work, and you are focusing on something very else. You cannot be a one-man army. Trust me, it doesn't work.
That's very wise. Like because then you get to work on the ideas and the core of it, and then you can assign like more administrative tasks to other people, and then you're also creating job for other people, right? Or you're giving them opportunity, so it's like a full circle kind of a thing.
It's good money. Like I won't underpay anybody. I would pay, in fact I would overpay someone who's doing out of their ways to give me that output. I would rather pay someone extra money just so that I can get high quality work. Because I'm also a content creator. I'm also someone who is working for other people. They expect good quality work when I'm posting content and other stuff. I just don't do it randomly. If you check out my videos, which specifically for brands, some of them are edited by good people. Like some of them, like the graphics and everything, hooks, like I work on it. I take time. If they are paying me something, I give them value for it. Obviously the reach is with sponsored posts is not that much, but I make sure that if some people are viewing it, they actually have the time to go and check that brand as well. That's one of the things which I think is good.
Great. So, my next question to you is like, other than knowing that your work is doing good on social media, all the technical things, analytics and views and all those things, that is like, obviously an achievement. But if we go really candid about it, what makes you the happiest at the end of any project, any reel that you make, anything that you do, like at the end of it, what's that one feeling that you have which makes you the happiest after anything you do?
I think based on it changes every month for me. But if I talk about like what makes me happy is that there is a section called shares uh, in on a reel and save. If someone is sharing it with someone and saving it for future, that makes me happy. I don't care about likes. I don't care about views. One of my reel recently went viral, 1.2 million views. What was that? Nothing. It took me 1 minute to edit it. It was just a trend. It had like so many 100k likes, and like I was like, what is happening? But that makes me happy. Okay, I am popping up on other people's feed, but people who are are finding it valuable, they are sharing it with someone, some of their friends, and they're saving it for their future, and they're dropping me a message at the end of the day that Ashish, I love your work. I follow a lot of content creators, but I specifically admire your work because it's to the point, no BS, straight facts. So that's, if I get those messages, which I usually get every day, I am happy. I don't need likes. I'm okay.
That's great. And another thing that I really like about your content, and as you said as well, like the confidence about it, like if you are showing that you're confident about what you're putting out there, obviously backed by facts, as you said, people actually like recognize it. Like they know that this person is more like authentic. And that's the reason maybe like they share it and save it for future, right? So that's amazing. That confidence is...
You have to be authoritative when you're speaking. Like when I check your videos on YouTube, when I really liked one of your videos where you're talking about like gender situation, and I was like, she knows her stuff. Like if I'm feeling that way, then you already won the game. You did your research, you did your and the way you speak impacts a lot of things. So the only word I would say is authoritative. You need to be authoritative with your content. It can be as simple as comedy as well, but you need to be authoritative with it. You know your shit, I would say. Sorry if I'm using it.
Yeah, and I think another thing that authoritative like tone and whole outlook does for you is that because again, like if you're on social media, there are also like so many negative comments and negative people just want to say things for the sake of it. But if you're authoritative, like that really doesn't impact you too much when you are your stuff and what you're doing, and then you're like just let it go.
Actually, I love replying them. I just start a conversation, to be honest. Sometimes it's so much fun. Like people have the time to post some bad things about not even related to post sometimes, just randomly, and I just initiate a conversation. And many times, you know what, I have converted that bad person into a good way of viewing it. And then I was so surprised. I was like, that guy was like, oh, you replied to me? Okay. I was like, bro, I'm literally watching your comment, and I just wanted to check up on you. If there's something I can improve on, just in a very empathetic way. First things first. That ratio of people changing is very less, but if I'm able to convert some people, then why not? Obviously, in times when I would be growing myself, I won't bother about hate comments, because eventually they should be there, I think. If there is no hate comments, then I think probably either people are scared of you or are people not bothered, like they don't care what you're posting. So let's be honest, it cannot be always good content. I have made mistakes in my content. People corrected me, and I used to pin that comment, thank you so much for clearing this out. I did not know it. So I take ownership of that. Like, it's important to take ownership if you are at fault.
That's true, and that's a learning experience, right? Like next time you'll be much better, and apply those things in your next project or work.
Yes.
Amazing. So, like this next question that I have for you is, most of the time the question is about like, what would you tell to your younger self? I changed it in a way that if you look at your future self, 10 or 20 years down the line, um, what would you say to your future self? Um, what message do you wanna say?
I would just congratulate him for reaching to that 10, 20 year mark from today, because considering the situation, things happening, if I'm surviving till that 10, 20 years down the lane, lifespan has reduced now significantly,
Yeah.
right? If I'm reaching to that level, first of all, I'll say I'm happy for you. Number second would be that I need that the purpose which I am doing today, it's reflected in some way or the other down the line. I need to see that. So I'll just ask what's happening now. I don't need to tell anything to my future self because he might have already learned 10 to 20 years down the line with his mistakes and everything. But I would just still check what's up, what's happening with it. Like what's your vision? What are you doing? Still that's the check I think is really important, because a lot of students, in fact, a lot of people as well, I have met in my life, they don't have purpose. It's really sad to see that. Uh, I'm still in the process of understanding that, but that if I'm in the process, I'm already in that loop of understanding something and beginning something of my own. But I've met so many people. They're just like I will just find an offbeat job and work here and there and just eventually get PR. What's the life after PR? I think that's the biggest question I ask right now to people as well. That you got what you wanted, right? You wanted PR
Yeah.
in Canada. What's next? What's your vision? What do you want to do?
Not many people have answer to this question.
Nobody I have met, like I would say the ratio is 70-30% of people are not, they don't know after PR what they have to do. Do you have a goal of buying a house in Canada? Do you have a goal of marrying someone? Do you have a goal of traveling the world? Do you have something like starting off your own something? And 70% of the people don't have answer to that. I have my goals fixed, and I want that future self to ensure that those goals are achieved in some way or the other. But it should be a reflection of what I have right now.
That's a very good thing. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, when people don't have that purpose, I also seen that leads up to them being sad or depressed because they don't know. Like, not knowing is itself a very, big challenge.
That place, yeah, to be in.
That's true. Absolutely. All right. So, in the end, I want to ask you if you have, like, what do you want to say to people who are watching? Any message, anything that you want them to remember you by, anything at all?
I think communication skills is number one skill which you can have, especially in Canada. The way you modulate your pitch, the way you modulate your way of saying things in impactful words plays a really vital role. People need to understand that fake it till you make it is real, especially in Canada. You need to fake your act, like the way you are speaking, you need to blend in. Everything is important here, but be true to your own self. And if you want to learn more about communications and taboo topics, you can follow Zoha as well. But the one thing which I would say is have a purpose in life. It can be as simple as bringing giving your parents a good life. You know, being with your partner who you always aspired to be with. Social media content creation. It's a part of it, but in the end, do what makes you happy. It can be as simple as spending time with someone you love, doing something you love. It's important to have a vision of what you want to do in life. I might be just 0.5% ahead in what I actually want to achieve, but at least I have a thought of it. I know what I want to do. So knowing what you want to do and what you want to achieve in life gives you a perspective, gives you a mission. You wake up every day, you have something. It can be as monotonous as just, maybe it can be as simple as getting that good job. I don't know why people have created this sense of entrepreneurship, that hustle culture.
Yeah.
No, people are happy in their 9 to 5. Let them be happy. Don't judge their happiness just because you have entrepreneur mindset, right?
Yeah.
You need to be happy in the end of the day. It's really important. Talk to people who you love, and if you feel you are alone, reach out to people. There are good ways you can reach out.
That's true. That's such a strong message, and thank you for sharing that. Really appreciate all our conversation. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot of
You too.
things, and I'm sure that whoever will watch this, like, they will learn a lot as well.
Yes.
For people who are watching, what I will do is I will share Ashish's like social media links in the description, so that you can follow him, learn from him. Like, you will be amazed like how much you can learn from what he does. So definitely go follow him and be inspired.
Thank you so much, Zoa. This means a lot. Your words, your way of putting things, closures. People can learn a lot from you. I don't know, you have been starting something related to, grammar and other stuff, I think. But it's so many things you can learn from Zoa right now. I don't know, not many people know, but she's very good with when she speaks. And
Thank you for saying that.
yeah, she knows her stuff. So, one thing I would like to tell you, Zoa, now on this interview, start posting content related to that now. You need to do that. You're not doing it. Maybe that's your tough spot. You don't even know.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. I would definitely start.
Why not? Like maybe some words, some ways of affirmation you can help students, or even newcomers who are in immigrants. Like your experience modulated in a way which will help someone. Something to what I have been doing, right? But it would be your journey. It's different.
Yeah.
Your background is different, right?
Yeah.
So many things you can also portray. You have someone who edits your video as well, I know.
Yeah.
So please use it. Please focus it on making more content which is valuable.
I will definitely do that, and see that I literally got the idea from our conversation. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking out the time to do this. And again, like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, keep inspiring, and good luck for everything that's come.
Thank you so much, Zoa. I wish you all the best for what you are trying to achieve. May your family is very healthy and positive. And if you need anything, I've always kept you in my primary section of my messages.
Oh.
I instantly get your message when I do that. I have always kept people close to me, and my early people who supported me in a separate section, and that would always remain the case. So if you need anything from me or anything, I would be more than happy to help you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And with that, we'll close this video. And for everyone, I will see you in the next one. Thank you.